Hey there, everybody. Time to get this show on the road. This is Dicebag back again, and I've got some. What is this? Art, world building, and game design, like I always say. The things that I do. We always do this on these streams. End up doing literally everything I consider myself decent at. So that's what these art streams are all about, anyways. But this one specifically, we're trying to finish off some necessary metamorphoses that I have not done yet. This one, in particular, our first metamorphosis, actually the only metamorphosis, is what this is going to be for our little bear guy down here. This is going to be the first one we start with because it's the only one I've started on. So we're going to finish him up and hopefully he doesn't look like garbage. Then we'll move on to the little bat guy down here. And I have a general idea of what I want to do with him, so hopefully won't be too hard to get him down. But then this guy, I have no idea what I'm going to do with him. So that's going to be an adventure if we make it that far. But, I got like 3-4 whole hours to do this, so we'll see how far it goes. This one's almost half done already, so, he barely even counts. But anyways, before I get to that, let's jump into the Discord chat, in case anybody wants to come and hang out and talk. Alright, there we go. Should be in there. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ah, somebody's already in. Wolf.
Howdy ho, Crime Stopper.
Crime Stopper.
Mm.
Oh, I prefer Tax Evader, but...
Same thing. Evasion of another crime is also a form of stopping crime.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going? You haven't been on one of these for a while.
No, I haven't. Well, I've been on overtime and basically just been tired, really tired for the last month or two.
Yeah, and I know how it is.
Now I'm finally off overtime, but next week is the rally. The coming week is the Sturgis rally, and I'll be the only operator in the shop of like 4, so I'll be working the entire back end of the shop. But oh well.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of overtime at my job, but not that much.
Well, I mean, the good thing is it's work.
Yeah.
The good news is I'm not really replaceable, so even though I'm fine working all these extra hours, they're sure as hell not going to find someone to take my position. and it'd be, even if they did, it'd be an uphill battle to train them.
Yeah. Well,
always comfortable.
I probably am replaceable because I'm the new guy.
Oh no.
But at the same time, when I started, there were like 6 of us in the job I do. Now there's 4. So it's like, I don't know what they actually want. They're not talking about getting any new people in either. So, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on over there. It's always off and on, hit or miss.
It's a weird time because like everyone needs work. Like everywhere is hiring now.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But no one's really getting jobs.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Unless it's I don't know. Surely welfare isn't that good.
It's not as good as it was, but here's the thing, because I was on welfare for a little bit, not by choice, mind you.
Uh-huh.
But originally, my job was the reason I was late. We were all furloughed at my job, not because our business decided like, well, we have to shut down because we have to worry about the coof and such. It was because other states and other businesses in other states were shutting down, so we didn't have anyone to really do business.
Right.
So business slowed down for a bit. But anyways, we were furloughed for a couple months, and you got a lot of money. Like, do you have any idea how much money I was making a week sitting on my ass?
I've never been on any kind of welfare, so no.
Well, this was the special government funding, like, oh, we need to help the people bill or whatever it was.
The special
I was
coof
making
bill.
it was the special coof bill. I was making 900 and just I don't remember the exact amount, but it was like $960+ a week
Holy hell.
doing nothing.
Why did I get a job?
But I got that for several months. It was actually an amazing boon because unlike most people, I didn't squander it. I actually put a lot of it into savings.
Yeah.
Part of that is actually what got me my house like a year
Ooh.
or two later. But anyways, like welfare was really good back then, but I think you can get about 300, 450 a week, which if you know what you're doing, you can actually live off of. Like it's not good living, but you can afford rent, you can afford basic foods and internet and stuff.
Oh hell yeah.
So
I can get by on
so
like $1,000 a week. Or not a week,
yeah,
a month.
not a week, with 1,000 a month. So that's the thing is, if you're getting like 1,200 a month and you know how to just survive off that, why would you work 40 hours a week to maybe make 200, 300 extra dollars a month rather than just doing nothing?
Yeah. And especially if you can do some stuff under the table as a side job.
Yeah, and you can
Which during that whole coof thing, I was basically a starving artist.
mhm.
So you can make $900 a week, man.
Yeah, it was nuts. My brother and I had no idea what to do with ourselves. Like, because that's the thing is, like, obviously it was really cool for like the first 2 or 3 weeks, but we're kind of responsible. Whatever. I'm not the best person in the world. I'll admit it, but we're the kind of people who need something to do. We need a job. We need like a mission in life.
Yeah.
I can't just laze around all day.
I can't laze around all day, but I have so many things that I want to do for myself, and like just this right here, making things. I could do this as a job easily.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just nuts. Why the hell are? Oh wait, yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about this because of how no one can find jobs, and that's
Right.
one of my theories is that it's not the greatest living, but it's really easy to fake that you've been looking for jobs and stuff, and people basically aren't just hiring because you can literally just say, oh, I want to make 20, 25 bucks an hour, and then they won't hire you,
Yeah.
but you still get to put in your report that you were looking for a job that week, because that's all that's required. At least in my state, that's literally all that's required is you have to show that you have applied at one place a week.
Wow.
So yeah, welfare is about as bad as most people say it is, because the whole point of it is to live off of it. So yes, you can live off it. And that's my TED talk of why nobody's getting jobs and everyone's hiring.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm. And that's my state. I live in South Dakota, and we're a pretty conservative state for the most part.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine other states like, not Florida maybe, but like California, Colorado, Minnesota, New York.
Hell, I'm in Illinois, and
Mhm.
I wonder how much I could have gotten there. We're like blue in a sea of red.
Yeah, it also depends on which state too, because the reason we stopped getting the help is because our state just said no, we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah,
But there are other states that have extended that. Of course, it's been like 2 years now, so I don't think they're still doing it.
probably not.
But there were states that did that for like an entire year instead of 6 months,
Hmm.
where you got an extra. Oh yeah, I remember specifically. It was an extra $600 on whatever you would have normally got. So I would have only been getting like 350 a month or a week. But even that, 350 a week is more than enough for me to live as a lazy layabout.
Oh yeah. Hell, I'm over here like proud of myself that I'm making like $200 a week on crypto investments.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Then you're like,
yeah,
oh, welfare pays you $900. What?
What? What? Nanjakure? Not to get into spiel, but my whole philosophy on crypto is the same as it's ever been.
Yeah, I know.
If you're, you know what it is, and you're on the side of if you're making money, good on you. If you're just buying it, what the hell's wrong with it?
Well, I'm on the side of it's good technology, and eventually it's going to be widely adopted.
No, I'm on the side of half of that. I think it's evil. I think it's Satan's work, and I think it's also going to be adopted. The difference is that I think it's going to be adopted because the banks didn't touch it at first because there wasn't any real money in it, and it had to have an infrastructure set up. But now everyone's basically already put the hard work in. Now the government come in and say, "Oh, we have to regulate this because
Yeah.
look at all the." Because you've heard about all the scams and stuff. Like, what was it, like a week or two ago? $200 million literally was just stolen by a bunch of people because you could copy paste a line of code that says, yes, I am the authority in this blockchain and I can take as much as I want. Like, literally, that happened. I think it was an upper echelon video I was watching to find it.
I know the crypto game that I play, Axes, they got hacked.
Yeah.
I don't appear
that was
to
a
have
while.
been affected though, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that was a while ago, I think. But yeah, my conspiracy brain says what's going to happen is you're going to have all these people who are whining and crying about like my crypto isn't insured. You mean the platform I went to because I specifically didn't want to have government overlords controlling it is not protected? Please, government overlords, come in and protect my money.
Oh well, normies are gonna ruin pretty much anything, no matter what you do.
But yeah, once anything gets popular or profitable, kind of like Mines. Like Mines was really nice and cozy, and then everyone figured out they could spam Conspiraboomer memes and make a lot of crypto doing it. It's the sad truth about anything that gets popular.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Mines is popular yet.
Well, yeah,
more than it was before, but
there was a big boom right around the time when Twitter was going through some stuff a year or two ago. I think it was right after the Beans thing, because I came in at the back end of it, but apparently there was this big meme about beans or something. Friend beans.
I have no idea what that is.
Beans, Gromit. I don't really know what it was either, but yeah, I think I started right around the time. Well, no, I had it for I've had an account for like 5 years, but I didn't start using it until like Clara did that friend finder thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've had an account for a while, but again, it was kind of dead. But it was after Parlor got nuked, because I was actually getting bigger on there. Actually, let's see, I sent in a super chat to Sargon on one of his streams and informed people that I was making games and stuff, and I actually got a decent following over there starting up. And then it just got nuked by Amazon. And I was like, well, I guess we gotta go somewhere else. And everybody else was going to mines, so that's where I went. I wasn't going to Gab. I was already using Gab to some extent, and I knew how garbage it was.
I mean, you don't even draw stuff that's really not allowed, but like you don't draw spicy stuff, but even your basic female characters wouldn't be allowed on Gab because they'd be considered anime. You're not even allowed to post sports on there. Like, just any... It has to be political stuff. You can't do anything that's not political.
I don't think that's entirely true, because I was on artist groups, which are almost always useless in every social media platform. But there's people posting non-political stuff there. It was just boring boomer stuff. Like, here's a drawing of my cat that I did in charcoal. It's like, okay, that's nice. Here's the Kraken I drew. And then nobody cares. That's the thing you see a lot in alt tech, is that nobody really pays much attention to art, unfortunately.
Well, I think the reason no one pays attention is on alt tech, you have a bunch of people who are banned from polite society, essentially.
Yeah.
So you have people who are more attracted to the exaggerated posts and stuff like that.
I think there's also just a culture among more right-wing people that art is not viewed as favorably.
Yeah, that too.
Because they'll talk a big game about, like, oh, culture is downstream of, or politics is downstream of culture and all that with Andrew Breitbart's thing, but then when it comes to actually doing anything about it, it's like, well, why would I spend money on supporting a thing that's just entertainment? It's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're paying Disney. Yeah, but they have a big budget and they have big special effects and all that. It was like, well, geez, no wonder our movement is so lackluster in the art world, because it's full of normies. It's full of art normies.
They don't appreciate the meme makers and the shitpost.
Oh, they appreciate those. They just don't appreciate people who are making actual entertainment that's not, like, directly... What would you call that? Stuff that's not directly, like, in your face. Stuff that's not just specific to social media. They'll drop a like on memes all the time. They'll share memes all the time.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're getting at. Like, you could have someone who shares basically all the same views, but they draw something, like just a picture or something of their hobby, but that's not important because it's not part of the culture war, or it doesn't push their message.
Yeah, it's not political, therefore it's not viewed as important for some reason. Even though one of the main things people are complaining about is putting politics in everything.
Yeah, everyone's annoyed because everything is political. I can't get away from this stuff. It's one of the reasons I like VTubers, because when I watch VTubers, I don't have to hear about the current war or who's died, or it's just it's like people like anime not because it's the greatest medium to exist. They like anime because it's just something that allows them to still get that escapism. Everything else sucks.
Unless you're watching me.
Yes, obviously. Present company excluded. What the hell do you mean, except unless you're watching me? We're talking about politics right now.
But that's what I'm saying. I am political in a certain level. You were just saying you like VTubers because they're not political.
Oh, yeah, there is that. I think there's
Like
two political VTubers I watch, you and V.
Yeah, it just seemed a little weird seeing, I like watching VTubers because they're not political when you're here talking to a political VTuber. Well, I guess I'm not overtly political all the time unless I'm talking to guys like you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
could go
I
a
know.
whole stream not talking about it.
I mean, I can. Actually, another thing that I was thinking is the new Pokemon.
Oh, that's always good to talk about.
Like, you just get okay. So I'm assuming you can't use them to battle right off the start, but you get the legendary just at the beginning.
That appears to be the case, or maybe you get it at a certain point. I don't know. Heck, maybe it's just something you get after you clear the main game. Who knows? But it sounds like you get it pretty early on. And I bet what's going to happen is that as you progress through the game, you unlock new features for it. Like, you get like your regular old riding feature to begin with, then you get like motorcycle form or something, then they learn to fly. And then at the peak, you get like the ultimate legendary transformation, probably. That tends to be how Nintendo does their things.
It's a little weird because I thought the whole point was one was like a futuristic one, purple one. The red one was like the ye old kind. And it was like technology versus primitive stuff.
I think that's the gist people were getting from it to begin with, but in the last trailer, nothing about that really came up. So
because you have Unga Bunga Dami Mommy Professor, and then you have Giga
yeah, you
Chad,
got Snoo.
Future Guy. You have Snoo and Giga Chad.
Yeah. And then you got High Tech Dragon and Primal Dragon. And there was also no mention of Proto and Neo forms, which was being thrown about as a leak potentially.
God, and those hats they wear are really disappointing because I like one of my favorite aesthetics in the world is crystalline stuff. And that was really cool what they have, but those hats are really gay.
Oh yeah. At first I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, but then I saw more of it and I'm like, wait a second. They all just have hats. This is just hat evolution.
Yeah, I'd rather they completely get rid of the hats and just give them those really cool crystalline textures. That was neat.
Yeah. Well, I guess the hats correlate to the type that is being modified or added, or however it works.
Oh yeah, because there's a chandelier for the fire, there's flowers for grass, there's balloons for air, which is a callback to Flying Pikachu from the old card game.
Yeah. And I guess that's probably more of a gameplay thing, so you can see exactly what type it's turned into. But there's probably other ways they could have done that than putting a hat on it.
Mm-hmm. They could have just done some special kind of effects or something, like leaves, or change the terrain you're on.
Yeah.
Just give me Mega Caesar back, man. I want Mega Caesar back.
That's the thing, right? Like, everything they've made since Mega Evolution is just suckier Mega Evolution.
It's literally just a replacement for something they already added. So we had Mega Evolutions, which made Pokemon a lot stronger and added a new kind of, gimmick to the game, because you could only use one Mega Evolution per battle, so you had to make sure you use the right one in the right situation.
Yep.
But then they take it away and give you something else, which is literally just a reskin of like, oh hey, this boosts your Pokemon for a little bit in the battle. It's like, why didn't you just keep it? You already had a system that worked.
Yeah. And the whole concept of Mega Evolution was cool because you just had like special designs for them. Everybody had a special design. It wasn't like this where it's just like, oh, we're gonna put a crystal skin on this thing.
And
A
then you had
hat.
Ultimate Waifu Gardevoir, who actually got a wedding dress. Maybe that's why they didn't continue it, because they knew what hell portal they unlocked.
There's new Pokeporn with every generation. They can't get away from that.
You can't stop me.
And they keep making feminine Pokemon too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if they wanted to stop that, why did they make Hatterene?
I love the memes that came out earlier. It's like, look, guys. Hey, look. Hey, we made the professors hot, guys. Hey, can you stop drawing the Pokemon, please, for the love of God?
Come on, guys. We gave you hot professors. Stop drawing Pokemon.
And then the fans were like, screw you. There's just so much to rag on. Like that professor in the video, he's going to be evil. He has a gaunt face. He has ragged hair. He's like, it's obvious. But the animations, like, let's just ignore all the faux pas and the flaws and the tropes. Just the animation and that voice acting, so terrible.
I bet that's not going to be his actual voice in the game. In fact, I'm not even sure if they're going to have voice acting. Did they have it in Sword and Shield? Do you know?
No Pokemon game has ever had voice acting. Okay. I think except for that mobile one or whatever, Pokemon Masters Sex. Well, it's Masters EX, but everyone just calls it Master Sex.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's the only one.
I doubt he's going to have a voice then, but Nintendo always picks really generic sounding, like, white man voices whenever they dub something. You ever notice that? They all sound the same.
Like, they should have just had a regular announcer. It's like, welcome to the new world of Pokemon, where you'll explore. Where will you go? What will you find? New adventures to be unlocked.
Yeah, but like, with Pokemon, it'd be like a really smooth voiced person. It'd be like, welcome to the world of Pokemon. That's not even giving it justice. I can't do that kind of voice.
Yeah, they wouldn't have the guy who smokes 12 packs a day, epic dramatic voice doing it. Huh.
Now, somebody's saying bye in chat, but I don't see a hi in chat either. Bye, Blue Mysterious 2. I don't know who you are or where you came from, but thanks for stopping by.
They existed.
They're probably gone by now, but that's alright. You know, as much as I rag on it, I'm probably going to get the game anyways.
I'm not. But then again, that's just... I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing if you get it so much. There's plenty of meme material that will come from it.
Yeah. Plus, I need stuff to stream anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a goldmine of things to complain about, I'm sure.
Yeah. My complaining is more so just the fact that, like, I've been playing it since I was a child, like literally when it came out, and just watching it deteriorate, and not just deteriorate, but it's already died for me, and they're just dragging the skin and pulling off new parts and pieces every time they need it and stretching it, soaking it with water to give it some more life, and then putting it over a new corpse. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
What it feels like to me is that they're turning it into Digimon, it feels like.
Yeah, but Digimon is at least consistent.
Yeah, but there's a reason I like Pokemon
Mm.
and not Digimon when it came out about the same time period when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Like the whole thing about, oh, we're gonna have, it's a new season, we got a new Digivolution thingamajig to do, and it's gonna be basically the same thing, but we're gonna call it something different. It's just like the thing they do with Mega Evolution.
Mhm.
And the legendaries, they're getting over designed, much like Digimon. Basically, it just seems like all the gimmick things, all the special stuff about each generation is becoming Digimon. And then the, what is it, like the regular old stuff is kind of still Pokemon-ish.
Mhm.
I don't
I think
know.
one of the worst parts is the loss of continuity. Kind of like how, because up until I think X and Y, I was actually carrying a lot of Pokemon that I had from like a gold. Oh wait, no, gold and silver was the stopping point because they added natures in
Yeah,
Gen 3.
Gen 3 had to reboot that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's,
But no, Diamond and Pearl. I carried them all the way from Diamond and Pearl to like I think X and no, it was, yeah, X and Y. I think because you had the Safari, you could catch your Pokemon.
yeah. And that's one of the things I talked about in my reaction video, I think. Like these new Pokemon, they've got like special, they're saying, oh, you'll be able to capture Pokemon with special rare terrestrialized traits or whatever, or types or whatever they do. And it's like, yeah, but next generation, that's not going to exist because you guys throw it out the door every single generation. So what's the point? Why do I want this special thing that's only going to be around for one generation? Why am
Well,
I
yeah, it's
going
like
to
Sun
bust
and
my
Moon.
butt to find rare Pokemon for something that's only going to exist in one generation?
That was something in Sun and Moon, right? Like you had the Alolan versions of certain Pokemon that can only be used in that generation.
Oh, they could only be found in
Oh,
that generation. I think they made methods for you to get it in the next one, but
oh yeah.
I didn't
See, you
play
have
that
to
one.
have this. You have to have the Pokemon service though. You have to have the Nintendo. It's like a Pokemon,
Pokemon Bank
not
or something.
nursery. Yeah, Pokemon Bank. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Which is a service you have to pay for.
Yeah. That's something, that's one of the reasons I kind of have a sour attitude towards the regional forms these days. Because at first I thought, oh, that's cool, that'll be neat. But then after a while, it's like, wait a second, how are you going to get those in future generations? You can't just go back to the other region because they don't do that anymore.
No, Pokemon makes me sad. A little bit. No, Pokemon makes me feel a lot of things. Let's see, is this just a straight up like second stage or what?
Yeah.
Like he goes from the cute little bear to a like a mauler.
Yep, he's going to be just a two-stager.
Or I guess he goes more from a deceptive mauler to a obvious mauler.
They'll all maul you.
Well, yeah, that's why one's a deceptive mauler. One looks cute and might make someone think, "Oh, I want to give it a hug," and the other one's straight up like, "I'm not going near that thing."
But yeah, I need this guy to get his full evolution because I wrote up a wiki page for one of the characters, and he's supposed to have one of these, and I haven't drawn it yet. So it's not. I can't really make the proper post on social media for the guy if I don't have at least a drawing of his creatures. So we got to do this before we do anything else. Then the next two things are the final guys I need to get a full family of to have the cycle of one of each type being complete. Then I can move on to some more exotic kinds of things.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the owl, so we're just gonna have to play it by ear when I get there.
I don't know. I'm picking up some different things looking at him. Like he's got sparkles in his eyes, but it's like, is the shield emblem anything important? Like, is he supposed to be like a stockade or a shield or a blocker?
Not really. It's just an expansion of the fact that his previous one had something on its chest. Just kind of a marking. So he'll probably have a more complicated mark. But as far as body type and stuff like that, that's going to be the sticking point. Let's see. I think it's time to get some colors on this guy.
Feel the colors.
Yes. Thinking maybe I'll make him a little less dark. Oh wait, this guy's not even close to being done. What am I doing? He needs the tree stuff on him.
Yeah, he needs his headpiece and his tail.
Yeah, this guy, he's gonna be bussin'.
Jesus. Very frail, no cap. I have a response for this. I just have to find it somewhere.
Oh, do we have a meme for this exact situation?
Yes, I do. I have a meme for every situation.
I probably do too, but I can never find them.
Well, that's because I'm autistic and I organize all my memes and responses.
Okay. The hell are you sending me?
I am sending you a meme in response for that straight bussin' crap. Such a weird thing too. I wonder how long that was. Like how long it's been a thing. And just one day I saw a meme with it. Yeah, this is gonna be a thing. I'm like,
I have absolutely no idea what it is or what it's from.
me either. I just know that one day it just started appearing in a bunch of memes. And now people are saying it. It's kind of it's just like sissy and well, cringe and based actually.
It's the internet hive mind at work.
Cringe is literally just like lame, square, and based is just a new way of saying cool.
I think they have
That's
different connotations.
Well, sort of. Based just kind of means that something is, just defensible on its own merit. Something you agree. It's more of just something you agree with. But most people just say based now in the same way they would say cool, or that's cool. Like someone would say, "Oh man, that's cool." Now people say, "Oh man, that's based."
I don't know. I haven't seen it used that way much. Maybe I'm not hip with the kids these days, as you are.
Yeah, hip with the kids these days. No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how. Well, that's how it works. Whenever I see people, people can make up all their arguments they want about. Oh, based isn't just it's not a replacement word. It's its own thing, man. It's for people who are cool and strong and set in their own way. It's like, nah, it's just another way of saying you agree with something. Another way of saying cool.
Oh, well, cool doesn't mean you agree with something.
Well, it's not just agree. It's more of like you see something that you think is neat, something that's interesting. And the way I see people use based is like, that's cool. It's like, that's neat. That's interesting. In a way, I support that. Or I don't know. Bait.
I don't know. Back in the day, I might have referred to SWAT cats as cool, but I would not refer to them as based.
Yeah, I guess based has more to do with the way someone acts.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't say the way someone looks is based, but you would definitely say the way someone acts is based.
Yeah. I think that's the main distinction.
Yeah, I guess there is a big difference. Cool is more aesthetic.
That's what I was about to say. Exactly.
So yeah, you're right. They're not exactly the same, but I can see them being used pretty interchangeably at some points.
I could see some what do you call them? Gen alphas starting to use based in such a way. And then we shake our fist at the sky and say, that's not what based means.
You kids aren't based. You'll never know what based is. I used to be based. And bussin', we'll just have to see what bussin' is.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. As far as I can tell, bussin' just means cool.
Yeah. See? Except I think bussin' is more accurate than based. Or it would be more accurate to compare bussin' to cool than based.
Yeah, as far as I know. I don't hear people use it in real life.
Yeah, it's all in memes.
It's like it's specifically a meme word. Nobody actually uses it.
No, I'm pretty sure people actually use it, but it's more like the fact that I just haven't been on Facebook or Twitter or like anything.
Maybe.
So I don't interact with those kind of people.
Maybe it's just
I
the
don't think
specific subculture that uses it.
I don't really think I interact with many people under the age of 25.
I have a few cousins that might count. Actually,
Like I think there's some
although
like
there's a guy
like
at work
Bill.
that's I forget the name of generations. Gen Z. I think he's Gen Z. That I work with. Walks around with Rick and Morty shirts and stuff like that. Skinny jeans.
Yeah, Gen Z is the bussin' Schwifty Morty, Rick and Morty Gen. There's another name for them too. I can't remember what it is. Gen Z, and then there's something else. They're the generation that grew up not knowing that the internet used to not exist.
Yeah. Freaking kids
Most
younger
of them
than the internet.
There are a lot of kids who don't even know that house phones used to exist. Or that the internet used to make a noise. Like when you answered the phone, you didn't say "Where are you?" You answered, "Who is speaking?" or "Is X home?"
Yeah, who's this?
Who's this?
Ring ring, who
Hello,
dis?
this is the Schmidt residence. May I ask who's calling?
Yeah.
Yeah, kids these days are never going to have to know the fear of calling a house and hoping to God that the girl you like's dad doesn't answer. Because I don't know about you, but that was a very real fear for me. So,
I don't know. I'm a massive introvert, so just calling anybody was a massive fear for me. Actually, still is.
there
I
is
freaking
that.
hate that. Hate calling people on the phone. I'd
I
rather
don't hate
get up and go talk to somebody face to face than talk to them on the phone.
I don't mind calling people, but I do hate getting called. Especially if it's a number I don't know. If it's a number I do know and it's someone in my like contact list, that's fine. It's no problem.
Yeah.
But random calls, I don't. No, I don't answer the phone if I'm not expecting a call. I don't answer it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, same for me. I get
all
spam
my
calls
bills are
all the
paid.
time, and it's like, I'm not answering that. I don't know who you are. Random number from Arkansas.
All my bills are paid unless something there. If something dire enough that you need to call me is happening, you can come to my house. Text me, email me, or something.
I think most of the people who would call me for anything like that are in my contacts already.
It's another weird thing is a lot of kids, like a lot of people, just apparently have anxiety about making calls. It's like, oh, I have to call. I have to make an appointment to see my dentist, but I haven't called them in like 3 weeks. It's like, you absolute piece of shit. I will.
No, that's
That
me.
triggers
I
me.
have anxiety about making calls. I hate making appointments.
Well, boy, you got to get over that.
I don't know. I've done pretty well so far.
Yeah, I know, but I think you're probably not as bad as a lot of other people. Like, you read the stories about how they'll just like, yeah, I have a real problem. I'll probably just die with it. I'd rather just deal with this excruciating pain in my mouth than have to actually call someone and speak to a human being. What do you think they're gonna do? Berate you? Because I'm gonna berate you. It's like, so you're gonna get it anyways.
That's almost me. Almost.
It's a little bit.
Actually, it kind of is. Last time I had such a pain, I made an appointment online instead of calling people. But I did make the appointment, and I went there. I put on a stupid mask for the hospital. And I talked to the guy I never knew before. And hello, pigeon-guided missiles. Thanks for coming.
I haven't donated blood in like 2 years because of the mask thing.
I don't think I've ever donated blood.
I've donated blood. I'm pretty sure there's a number somewhere out there because they obviously keep all that information, but I think I've donated from like 2012 up until the Rona. And I donated like every 2 weeks for the last almost 10 years. And then the coof happened, and you had to. It's like, well, you have to have a test done or whatever. It's like blah 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 blah. Now you have to wear a mask whether you're sick or not. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. My humanity has done not humanity. Some people need to die.
This is a universal truth.
I'll leave it at that. That my Darwinism has come out a bit more in the last several years. Like you have these ham beasts with 3 or 4 chins telling me that I'm an unhealthy person because I'm not wearing a mask.
Oh yeah.
Do you not care about your health? How do you know?
Sometimes I think modern medicine was a mistake.
In some ways, actually, it was, because while the advances of technology have definitely helped a lot of people, we've had some people who have, who were intelligent that wouldn't have been around. The problem is, you went from having a birth, you had a survival rate of about 50%. You had infant death was around 50%, and now it's less than 1%. However, because it's less than 1%, you have a lot of people surviving who probably shouldn't be surviving. Now you mix that with welfare, and the fact that you see where that goes.
Oh yeah. Believe me, I've thought about this. I've come to many of the same conclusions.
The guy who does a really good job of explaining it is Edward Dutton. Very fast-talking man who talks about things that generally aren't allowed to be talked about on YouTube.
But not just that, there was a post that triggered this thought in me earlier about I saw some post about some news article where like an actress got drunk and crashed her car into her house and was in the hospital, and I'm like, well, maybe she should have just died.
Yeah, normally in nature, that's a situation that would have solved itself.
Yeah.
Like with with a lot of problems with thieves, everyone gets annoyed at the fact that I think that if someone's broken into my house, they've already given up their right to life. So.
Yeah.
But I'm the extreme person because I think that removing that person who decided that they're allowed to break into my property is a good thing. that I think removing them from society is a good thing, because I personally don't believe in rehabilitation. I think if so, I think the problem is once you get to a certain age, there is no real rehabilitation, and you really can't become part of the society. And if you were to take care of things when they happen, you'd have a lot less of it happening and a lot better, society.
I would say rehabilitation has to be like from a religious standpoint. The government should not be doing its thing with rehabilitation. Their goal should be to protect the public.
Yeah, it could technically be more a religious thing, and it does have to do with the extremity of the situation. Like I'm not going to say little 10-year-old Timmy stealing some candy from the store is going to get a shotgun blast. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that Julio, who's like 35, breaking into my house at midnight, is going to get a face full of lead. I don't know. It's a complex subject that I'm trying to simplify too much.
I think the general gist is that other people are not responsible for that person's rehabilitation.
Well, yeah,
If you're
it's more like we baby them. We make them a bigger problem for society, because instead of taking care of the situation the way it should be, you just make it harder on the citizens.
yeah,
Or I don't know. You were going to say something before I ran.
I don't think I was. What was I? I don't know.
Oh, we were talking about rehabilitation, something like.
I think I said what I meant to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean rehabilitation's fine it's not if it doesn't put other people out. But yeah, when you're expected to not defend yourself because somebody might be able to be rehabilitated, you can't. Might be, should not be something you make a decision on.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part, is the fact that the person assaulting you has more protections than you do.
Yeah, that's where things really go wrong.
It's like in California they have what is it? Retreat laws, or there's a special name for them, where if you have the chance to escape, so let's say
Duty to
I'm in my
retreat.
yeah, duty to retreat. So in my house there's a back door and a front door. And if someone breaks into my front door and I'm in my hallway, I am legally obligated to run out my back door
Yeah.
rather than reach for my holster at my hip. Because I am always armed at all times, like even at home.
Yeah, that's such a scummy law.
Yeah, duty to retreat. It goes to the extremes where even if there's if you're at the second story and there's a window, they could make the argument that you had the ability to jump out that window. You might have hurt yourself, but the fact is you shouldn't have hurt the person who was assaulting you.
Yeah, and
So that's probably
it really breaks down when you've got the potential for, you're trying to get away. What if they just shoot you anyways?
Mhm.
You can't expect people to be honorable.
Mhm. No. Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem is that your individual rights are taken from you and you're not allowed to one of the things that's most important to being a human is the ability to your own bodily autonomy and being able to defend yourself, and that's taken away from you to make yourself feel helpless.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most annoying thing I have about like what happens with criminality and stuff. Kind of like in California, where if you steal something, as long as it's under $1,000, they're not going to call the cops on you. And everyone's wearing masks because you have to legally wear a mask. So who's actually going to remember you or find you?
And it's not even that they won't call the cops. It's that if you call the cops will just laugh in your face and say, well, they're not going to prosecute that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, if they're not going to prosecute it, why would you go after them? They're going to hold them for 24 hours and then they're going to let them go.
And in some cases, they may not even be allowed to.
Anyways, as we were saying, some people should die. it's a happy day.
Yeah.
Only happy thoughts today.
Happy thoughts. Pokemon sucks. More people should die.
And yeah, Pokemon sucks. People should die, and shit straight bussin'.
He is straight bussin'. Look at that mullet, man.
Yeah. Is that full length? Like is that a tail or does that go all the way down?
That goes all the way down.
Oh man. Let's see.
Yeah, that was a nice arc of conversation.
A little bit.
Pokemon sucks. Kids these days, people need to die. We are becoming the grumpy old men.
Yeah. Say, oh, looked like you weren't you didn't have your selection there for a bit.
Say what?
Oh, it's fixed now, but it looked like you were drawing out of bounds because you didn't select the color layer.
Oh yeah, I was. It's okay. I don't need you to hold my hand on everything. I can figure out some of these problems myself.
I want to feel like I'm helping. I'll be back.
Okie dokie. Just you and me, chat. Is anybody even there? Let's see. Oh, look at that. I see 6 people on Odyssey. Ah. Stupid fly flying around my room. Literally just landed on my mouth.
Riveting.
Really?
Yes.
Flies trying to fly into my mouth? Somebody really wanted to get eaten. So are you working on anything over there?
Oh yeah, I'm working on a little meme my friend wanted.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but I posted the sketch yesterday. These two little girls standing over a Pepe or an Apu.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Mhm. Yeah, there's there's that Yu-Gi-Oh game. I think it's like the mobile or the PC. It's whatever the new one is. But it's a funny little meme about this character that people like to use because it's a control deck that basically allows you to one turn win or just take over the field, and there's these special girls who can just counter it. And so just a meme.
Ah.
It's not I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in years, and I'm worried about this one because it has waifus and stuff and they're actually competitive, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't have enough time anymore. It's one of those things where it's like there's too many things that I would enjoy playing, but I can't play them because each one requires so much time.
Yeah.
Like Monster Hunter Rise is one I'm playing, and that's Monster Hunter. Every single Monster Hunter game I played has like 400 hours sunk into it. And this one I'm at like 300 now.
It feels to me like there's fewer and fewer things that you can actually sink that much time into as far as games go.
Like, there's no MMOs I can play anymore either. One, mostly because I got myself kicked off the game for shouting in the most populated area, but Final Fantasy it was Final Fantasy 14. But even then I probably couldn't go back to it because I can't hide they can't hide the treadmill anymore.
Yeah.
Like Monster Hunter is one of those ones that I enjoy playing though. It's just everything's a massive boss battle. And a lot of it has to do with your skill rather than your gear. Like your gear helps. Obviously your gear helps. You like the difference is doing like 10 times more damage than you start the game out doing and not getting one shot. But a lot of it has to do with your skill versus the actual gear.
And you gotta practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's another game where I have a lot of friends. I have three friends, so we have an actual group of 4, which is the max you can have in a room. So it works out pretty well. Aside from that, I can't think of any games. There's the Yu-Gi-Oh one, which I probably would enjoy, but I don't have the time for.
Oh, I see you drawing now. After scrolling for like 5 minutes down your page.
Oh yeah, no, that's because I share people's stuff.
Yeah.
I like I like the art community. It's like wow, I'm an artist. I really should draw my own stuff every.
Yeah, I'm always torn between like, do I want to stick every little thing on my page, or do I want to actually keep stuff a little thinner so people can see what I actually make?
I think the compromise I've come up with is when I am drawing, I share a lot of whips, and then I always make sure that new stuff is at the top of my list of, like, I always have at least 3 things pinned that are recent.
Yeah.
But I've always been more of I like other people to see, like, because years and years ago, like, I'm still not big. I think I have like 400 some odd followers, and I'm pretty sure only 200 of those are real people.
That's what it feels like on mines.
Mhm. Like this is the most followers I've ever had on any platform, and it's just I've been at like the 10, 20, whatever followers, so I just think like, you know what? I just want everyone to be. It's
Yeah,
kind of how it should. It's how it always should be, at least I think, with the art community, because artists should really be supporting and sharing each other. Blah blah blah, hippy dippy stuff. But that's kind of how it has to be, because otherwise, no one else is going to. It's
yep.
just how it is.
Somebody has to go out and share that thing that the person with no subscribers has. Otherwise, nobody's going to find it. Because nobody searches for anything on
Yep.
social media.
I basically found, because even I don't, because when I first was on Minds, I actually used to use the search function because it was helpful. But then everything got all the hashtags got taken over by bots and stuff like that, so you couldn't actually find anything new or
Yeah.
original. So I don't use the search function anymore. But I do know that if I force feed stuff down people's throats, other people look at followers, and I've seen it happen, because it used to be like I was the only person who would share stuff over and over and over again, and then I see on the stuff that I was sharing, there's more and more likes before I even get to it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where maybe someone's not online, maybe someone's been gone for 2 or 3 days, so if you just keep sharing and sharing and sharing, it's a little nudge and it helps. There's a nice happy feeling opposed to the people should die and Pokemon sucks. helping the art community, being good people, and supporting each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was actually thinking earlier that, like, how do you say this? I got my feet wet on posting art online on Tumblr. And I remember back in those days. What?
Oh wait, sorry. I need some context. Is this you're talking about old back in the day, right? Or are you talking about you just started doing that now?
Well,
'Cause I
not
was
just
I
now. Definitely not just now.
okay.
This was
Because
when
I
Tumblr
was a
was a bigger
Tumblrite back in
thing.
the day, and back in the day I was a Tumblrite. Like I was an actual like full on SJW like soup. I was very very cringe back in the day. But I don't know. When you said Tumblr, that brought back some like flashbacks.
Yeah. I was never an SJW. I've basically been a righty all my life. But, you know, the things I was drawing at the time were best served on Tumblr. But anyways, I remember from back in those days, the art community was actually very active in sharing other people's stuff. And they'd even make like posts that were like specifically geared for like normies to be like, here's how you can support artists, and like tell them about what everything does. Like reblogging helps people see work and stuff like that. I thought maybe I should like do something like that and make like a post about it on Minds.
Mhm. Yeah, but you know what Tumblr had that Minds doesn't?
What?
Multi-image posting.
That's true. That's very true. They keep
That's
saying
one
they're
of the big
bringing it.
things.
You know
That's one
what?
of the biggest things Tumblr had was like you could put 10 pictures on a post.
Yes, it was great. Tumblr had like the best feed, especially for art.
However,
I heard people complain like, "Oh, Tumblr's not that great for art because it doesn't have galleries." It's like, yeah, but
Tumblr was amazing.
it has like full-sized posts and it have multi-image posts. You could put them in the same thing. You could share all the kinds. They had the ask feature.
You could put links in your post and they wouldn't get shadow banned. Because
Yeah.
I've noticed on Minds, on Twitter, on Facebook, stuff like that, if you put a link in your post, it actually doesn't get shared as much because they only promote stuff on their sites that don't take you to other sites. Because like my posts were, because I used to do a thing where I would Well, I do. I think I still do it because I know it doesn't really matter. But when I make a post, I always have like the link to the full res, which is on Newgrounds, because the full res pictures are like 3 times the size that they allow on mine.
Yeah.
But when you put those links in the post, they aren't really shared as much. People don't see them. And I know for a fact that's how it works on Twitter, because Twitter allows you to see your analytics and how much something is shared and shown.
I wouldn't think mines would do that though, but
You're right. I might
really
just be
know.
schizo posting, but I do know for a fact I do know for a fact that on Facebook and Twitter, if you put links on stuff, they are demoted.
Yeah,
because
I can definitely believe it for them, but not only is mines generally more hands off, they just seem kind of lazy. But I don't think they actually do that themselves.
Yeah, that's the worst part. It's not even that. It's not even an active demotion. It's more of just like a nobody's at the office.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen that post from whatever it is, the schizo guy, the wolf lover, about how, what was it? Who's the guy from Mines again? I can't remember his name, but like the owner, he posts a lot.
Oh, Ottman.
Yeah, Dave Ottman. He's been doing some things where he's watched the posts and he's noticed that the posts from Dave show up on Twitter first, and that they're probably just using a program that copies and pastes and make a post on Mind after Twitter.
He's cross-posting?
Yeah.
That's not even a program they're using. That's literally a feature on Minds. Like every big creator you see on Minds is probably a Twitter cross-poster. And
yeah, but doesn't that mean you have to go to Twitter first? You make the post?
Yes.
So obviously it's something I know it's something that people use, which is annoying because you'll see a lot of big people, like, what is it, Zuby? He's the only big person I can think of off the top of my head.
Count Dankula.
Count Dankula.
Basically anybody
Sargon.
on Minds.
Yeah.
Well, he never posed. He's not on Twitter. He got kicked off.
Yeah, Sargon isn't on, but isn't there still like a Lotus Eaters or something?
Lotus Eaters is, but their business. I kind of expect that.
Yeah, but essentially the point is a lot of these big people aren't making original posts here. They're making posts on Twitter, and then they're just being copied onto Minds.
Oh yeah.
By an automated program, and it just feels annoying because it's not like I'm a huge fan and following these people, but everything's an afterthought. It's not even feeling like an afterthought. It's an actual afterthought.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been complaining about myself. And then they had like that Minds Festival of Ideas thingamajig that they kept pushing in people's faces. And like every single person that's on the list that showed up for that was like a Twitter cross-poster.
Like Tim.
Yes, like Tim. Like Tulsi Gabbard. And literally everybody else. Just people who copy their information from Twitter and automatically have it posted over on Minds. So they're not part of any kind of community on Minds. They're just big names.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, Minds would be amazing if like they had any kind of business sense, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. Because the unfortunate part is one of the biggest things where a lot of people came on was because it's like, oh wow, I can make money off of tokens and stuff. But unfortunately, that brought a lot of the schizo posters, which obviously are going to exist everywhere, but then they take over because rage posting is the best way to get attention, and therefore, if you get attention, you get shares, you get clicks, you get more tokens. You have more tokens, you can post your stuff more, and you can put it in the... It's one of the reasons it's so hard for us to actually share our stuff, is because there's such a long line of people to be put in the boosted feed that they can't get to it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna push the people who have more tokens who have been on there more often, as opposed to you or I who are going to share something like once or twice a month. Or for me, that's how it is.
Oh yeah. Speaking of supporting the art community, I'm dropping a like on your meme that I just have up here that I forgot about from like 2 days ago.
Oh man.
You know what?
What?
I'll give it a remind too.
Oh man, you're sharing space.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, check that out. Get it from. Get all the Get all the exposure to my 800 bot followers.
Hey, that's twice as many bot followers as I have. However, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of overlap there too.
Probably.
Because oh god, here's another rant about mines. If you got like 20 people all following each other and all sharing each other's art, that's the same post 20 times.
Yes. They would do well to add a feature that like doesn't show a post after you've seen it a couple times or something.
Like, show the latest iteration of that post would be nice.
Yeah. Instead of showing me highlights, do something useful.
Which I keep having to turn off, like, because I have canary mode on.
Me too.
But every week or so it turns back on, so I have to click the, I don't show this to me. You plebs. Because the whole point is I want to see creations from people in real time. That's one of the things that annoyed me the most about Facebook several years ago, was the feed used to be a real live time thing, and then it turned into it turned into a popularity thing. So what people liked the most was showing up rather than what was in the actual timeline. And originally I used to change it so it'd be, no, show me the timeline. And then they made it so that was completely gone. And then you couldn't even see certain posts after a certain point. Like, my feed would only go down about 100 posts, and then you couldn't see what happened before that, no matter what.
Yep. I remember when they first did that on Facebook, and I was very annoyed. And I've tried, getting back on Facebook to, connect with people I know in real life and show my art off there, but everything is like, you see the first post and it's like 3 days old. Like, what? Why are you showing me this? How am I supposed to keep up to date with people when everything you're showing me is days old?
Yeah, you're not seeing things as they happen because it's not even a conspiracy at this point. It's proven, but
oh yeah,
you can't see stuff in real time, because if you saw stuff in real time, then they wouldn't be able to censor stuff and they wouldn't be able to control like your worldview. Literally, they're controlling what you're allowed to see.
I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to I'm on Instagram for my art too, and that thing, like, you don't even see the people you follow most of the time. It's like, here's 2 posts from people you follow. Also, here's boosted stuff. Here's some advertisements. Here's something from a hashtag you clicked on the follow button on. Here's a bunch of stuff from that. Oh yeah, here's another person you follow. And here's more of this promoted stuff. It's just a constant barrage of that.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest reasons I liked Tumblr before there was the Tumblr cost in 2016, 14, I can't remember. But essentially there was a point where they got rid of all porn on Tumblr.
Yeah.
And that killed the platform.
I remember that quite well.
That's actually when I made a new account on Newgrounds. It was really cool to watch that, because Newgrounds went down for like 3 weeks. Every day, 2 or 3 times, they would go down because they had to keep buying more server space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Newgrounds got a resurgence there.
Which was neat, but now it's hard to get seen on Newgrounds because of how so many people there are now, the way the search function is.
Yeah, I tried getting on Newgrounds, but it's just so... It's a little more time
It's,
consuming to post stuff over there,
mhm.
and I'm short on time as it is. Plus
The reason I
backlog.
use Newgrounds, the reason I use Newgrounds is because it's a site that allows me to post basically everything that I draw, but also allows me to post the full res
Yeah.
without any loss. That's the big reason. Hmm.
Yeah, Tumblr would. If Tumblr wasn't run by commies, it would have been so
Well, it
good.
wasn't so much the fact they were. The big reason that they had to get rid of porn was because of there were what's the word for it? There were accusations that there was like child porn and stuff like that on, which there were, but the fact is, it's the same thing. It's on Minds, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on Tumblr, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
That stuff's going to exist.
it's anywhere
The
it can
best
fly under the radar.
anywhere, but the problem is Tumblr was the one they went after.
Yeah.
So what happened is they decided that if you're not going to take care of the kid porn problem on your site, we're just going to not host you on Apple or Google Play. And so in order to do that, they just had to get rid of all porn in general, because unfortunately there is no way to really tackle it unless you have like a totalitarian lockdown. So the best you can do is try to minimize it and report it when you can, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But they went scorched earth because they were forced to because of Apple and Google Play.
And basically, their entire community was very heavy into that.
A bunch of filthy degenerates, yes.
Yeah.
Of which I am, obviously, but still. I'll be the first one to say it. We were kicked off because Tumblr was the containment zone. Twitter was actually pretty nice and okay until the Tumblr cost happened, and then they all moved on to Twitter. That was the big change when Twitter started going downhill. Instead of going down a slow, like little slope, it just fell off a cliff. That's the actual reason.
And Tumblr
that was the
was
reason.
pretty blood sportsy, too. There wasn't really a lot of ideological censorship.
No, it was kind of like 4chan back in the day, because there really wasn't any censorship. But if you didn't like someone, you could just block them.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Because you can block people here too. I think I've been blocked by like 2 people, and the only reason I know that I've been blocked by them is because they're pretty good artists, and I wanted to share their stuff once. But you can't share stuff you're blocked by. People you're blocked by. I think it's Naomi Nomi Comics or something. She's a really good artist. She does like painting stuff.
I want to say that rings a bell, but there's a lot of things comics on Minds. It's like the one thing that people will actually support is comics. Maybe I should have kept the Crytures comics going.
Like I said, there's kind of a drought in Western media.
Yeah.
That's why manga is so popular. It's like, do you know what Superman's new thing he's fighting right now?
Is this the new gay son of Superman, or is this Superman?
This is the gay son of Superman.
No, I don't know what he's now fighting.
He is fighting 4chan.
Okay.
His new mission in his comics is tackling the famous hacker 4chan.
I'm not even going to question it. It just sounds normal to me.
I know.
Like, of course they would do that.
I wonder why Western comics are failing.
Yeah. It could be that, but I would argue that there's flaws in Western comics just besides that.
Well, yeah, there's more flaws especially in the fact that a lot of it is everything's a remake, everything's a reimagining, everything's a continuation. There's no new material. Like there's no
Yeah.
real new heroes really. Like I
And
think there's been a couple ones. Like you've seen about the new Ripaverse.
yeah.
That's a new hero. That's a new setting. That's a new stuff, and people supported it. I think another reason is like a lot of, like I said, a lot of stuff is reimaginings, rechangings. Like you have no new stuff. You have female. Basically, everything's just sex change. So you have a new female Thor. You have a female Hulk, which already existed. You had She-Hulk, but now they've changed her like politics to strong woman stuff. What do you have? You have a new female Iron Man. You have Captain Marvel is now the leader. And the problem is, I don't have a problem with strong women because I grew up with those. You had Starfire, you had Raven, you had the original She-Hulk, you had Wonder Woman, you had Catwoman. You just had a whole myriad of these characters. Even Jane from Tarzan was strong in her own way. You had Jasmine. Like, you already had strong characters.
Oh.
Oh, you don't like Jasmine?
Oh no, quite the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jasmine. Okay.
That was not an all of disgust.
So that was okay. But anyways, like you had strong women, but everything's just like, in order to make them strong and powerful, you have to make everyone else around them incompetent. That's why I think nobody likes it, because it's not good writing. It's
Especially
really,
the guys.
especially the men. It's not really interesting anymore.
Beyond that, it's not specifically a new phenomenon, because they've been doing remakes and reboots of the same exact characters over and over, and everything's a shared world, and nothing has really any particular creative vision to it. It's become just a marketing machine. It's a cinematic universe before cinematic universes were a thing, because they literally created that for comics.
Well, yeah, because I think they've been around since like the 30s or 40s.
Yeah. And it was Superman and Batman back then. And guess what? They're still around.
A big problem probably has to do with the way American copyright laws work also. So you can blame Disney for that.
Oh, yes.
So because nothing ever enters the, public domain anymore, nobody's really allowed to actually come up with new stuff, because unfortunately the way patent laws work is you're allowed to draw stuff and just come up with random concepts, and then you copyright those. And so someone who isn't aware of how it works comes up with something really cool on their own and does it, and then you get a summons notice and says, hey, you have to stop doing this. You can't make this anymore. This is our intellectual property. Because I don't know if you know about that, but that's how a lot of copyright works, is that you just have people hired to come up with stuff and copyright. So that way if it ever comes up or is ever designed, you can claim it. And it's an incredibly expensive process, but if you're already a multi-billion-dollar company, you can waste that money.
Yeah, like copyright trolls, basically.
Yeah. It's nuts. Is this an emo bet?
Yeah.
Are you going to show the beautiful suffering of his soul?
I don't know.
The exquisite gleam?
I mean, he's basically a furry. That's what these streams usually devolve into, is of drawing furries. I actually imagined him to be a lot uglier.
The squid. The Squidward line. Oh no, he's hot.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm gonna make a scary looking bat vampire. And it's like, oh wait. It's got a cute fang.
No.
Why did I do that? Because he needs fangs, that's why.
There's creepy ways to do fangs, but they wouldn't fit in this.
There's creepy ways to do anything.
Anything is X if you try hard.
I should have made this canvas wide instead of tall.
Hey, you can always change it.
Yeah. Let's see. Canvas size. Figure 4,000 by 3,000. He's turning out awfully cartoony.
Shikatanine.
Say what?
Shikatanine.
Oh,
What can you do?
you're speaking
It's
the
not much that
J-Pan
you-
at me.
I'm speaking them moon runes. Oriental Ching Chong Bing Bong. I've decided that in order to be more inclusive, I will refer to all people from East Asian heritages to be inclusive as CHINX, much like Latinx. I will call them chicks.
Yes,
I love that meme.
it's a good one. It's pronounced Chinex.
Chinx. How do you pronounce Womex? And God help me. It's like you want everyone to say this word, but no one knows how to pronounce it. And if you find an actual Latina or Latino and you say Latinx, they'll show you why the crime rate's so high in their neighborhoods.
Oh, that's how you can tell that these people exist online in very little other places. I almost have that problem myself. Somebody asks about my game in real life, and I'm like, it's called Crytures, but spelled with a Y, because they're crystal creatures. And on the internet,
Well,
that's just apparent.
Yeah, well, it is weird because, talking to anyone who's not really aware of what you do online is weird.
Yeah.
It's like, so what do you do online? Well, I draw. It's like, so what do you draw? So I draw this little frog named Apu and these cute girls. And it's like, what, you draw girls? Like, what kind of girls? It's like,
Exactly the kind you're thinking of.
Yes, exactly. I am drawing wholesome women you could show to your grandmother in church. Do you have any examples? No.
The correct response is, are we in church?
In church? An edgy boy.
This guy looks like he's going goblin mode.
Goblin them nuts. Got him.
I guess he could be flying. I don't know. Maybe he should be walking.
Give him a Slav squad.
Cartoon anatomy is always the hardest part about these things.
Yeah. I'm not how much or how important it is, but the one thing about wings is they are fingers.
Yeah.
So they are going off at kind of a weird angle. Because like where the metacarpals are, like, you know, the big part where your palm is, there should be a much wider part, but that's just me being picky about a cartoon.
Yeah. I'm not super worried about wing anatomy on this guy, mostly because every time I try to do it like right, it doesn't look right. Because I tried to do that on the previous guy and yeah, like what I said, it didn't look right.
Good enough.
He's stylized. Come on, guys, he's just stylized.
My special. Come on, guys. It's my style. Can't judge me. Actually.
Uh. We're definitely gonna have to work on one of his arms at least.
I think his left arm, as in like his actual left, is the one that is like really small comparatively. Like that might be what's throwing it off.
I think they're both wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just saying, if you make them similar sizes, then it would look less off.
Is the other one, he's like supposed to be leaning forward, but it doesn't read like that. It reads like he's doing some kind of muscle pose.
Hmm.
Put maybe more in like so, maybe. That works better for the pose, but probably gonna need to work on it more.
I mean, he does look like he is leaning. Like, it's not like he's flexing. It does look like he's like standing over.
Yeah.
So the gist of what you're going for is a combo. I'm sorry if I get too clickety clack clack clack. I'm doing Japanese lessons right now.
Ah.
If you hear that, that's what that.
You know, that's actually something that cracks me up whenever I'm watching like Mume. She types really fast if you haven't noticed. Like whenever she gets confused about something, she'll like look it up on the internet and you'll just hear she'll go silent and then you'll just hear like
Mhm.
and it always cracks me up for some reason.
It's because you know.
I know.
No.
What does I know? I don't know if I know.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. You know. You know what they're doing. It's a moment of weakness, and you're aware of it.
Oh, okay.
That's how I interpret.
I don't know. I find it to be good comedic timing.
Hmm.
There's always just a long pause, then frantic clacking on the keyboard.
Mhm. Well, yeah. For me, it's funny because they're going after that. It's hard to explain. It's je ne sais quoi.
Did you just speak French at me?
Yes, yes, I did.
Uh, French is on my list.
Which list?
The worst languages list.
Uh, that is true.
Right up there with Chinese and Korean.
I would put. I wouldn't put Japanese as great, but I also wouldn't put it as bad either because it has strong suits in the same way German does, as in it's a very powerful language. But it's also ridiculously difficult to learn. It's got like 3 alphabets.
Yeah, yeah. Japanese as a language is okay. Just the writing system I'd have a problem with. But they're not in the ballpark of those other ones.
No.
None of them even like romanize their spellings properly. Or the French can't spell. They're just contrarians. And if I had to guess, I bet a French person made the official Romanizations for how you spell like Chinese and Korean words, because they have the same thing where the spelling just doesn't make sense. Actually, Korean just doesn't make sense. I don't even register Korean as like actual words when I hear it.
And say at least they're making some good media.
I don't know.
Train to Busan.
I don't think I've seen anything from them.
There's some good stuff like Train to Busan. What are the other ones like obviously it's not the best in the world, but of what's coming out, it's really good. Like what's that other one that was really popular for a while? It was the games
Squid
one.
Game.
Squid Game. Yep, that's Korean. A bunch of zombie ones have been coming out from them. Yeah, they're going to the phase that America had in its like 2000s.
Yeah, I'm definitely done with zombies. Zombies didn't last long with me. Especially since it's always sci-fi zombies.
I think zombies. The high point of zombies for me was the original Left 4 Dead game. And some of the early, what's it called? Village, not Village, but it's not Silent Hill. That's one of the series because there's Silent Hill and then there's what's the other
Evil?
one? Resident Evil. Yeah. Of course, there was one game that I kind of want to get. It's really old though. It's called Siren. It was for the PS2. And that one was really creepy because it was a Japanese horror game where it was more realistic in the sense that you don't have any guns because they just culturally don't. And you play through the story of like 4 different people trying to sneak through cities and trying to find safety in these more realistic situations. It's really creepy. Oh, and it wasn't a zombie movie, but another one that was really creepy was The Grudge. Do you remember that one?
I do not care for horror stuff in general.
Nah.
Which I guess is part of why I don't like care about zombies, because they're supposed to be scary.
Yeah, because the problem is a lot of it has to be done right. You can't just do jump scares. A lot of stuff has to be psychological for me to enjoy it. Like, the fear of the monster is more, like, an unknown monster is much more scary than a known monster or a seen monster. Because whatever I come up with in my head is much more scary than something anyone could actually, put to paper.
Because it's personal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know what scares me the most, so I'm going to put the scariest things in there. Of course, I also have like I don't know if I think we've talked about this before. Have we talked about how some people can't see images in their head?
Probably.
Because like I'm on the opposite end of that. I am on the end where I can picture, like if someone says picture an apple, I can picture any kind of apple I want. I can rotate it, make it 3D, black and white, 2D, whatever. However, the curse of that is ever since I was a little kid, I've seen eyes staring at me outside of windows. And I know it's not because of like ghosts and stuff. I know it's because I have an overactive and hyperactive imagination, and I can actually picture that stuff clear as day. So that's why as an adult, I have no windows in my house that are uncovered.
Oh, I'm like the same way. The thing that will send chills down my spine more than anything is something looking in through a window that you can't see clearly.
Yes.
Oh, I'm getting chills
like,
right now. Oh. Just thinking about it.
just a bit, because I'm sitting in my desk. There's a window behind me where my air conditioner is, and obviously it's covered up, but still, it's that visceral imagination that's just like, don't look around, don't look around.
Yeah, that's like a primal fear for me.
I think for me, eyes are the scariest part of a monster. And the reason for that is because eyes show intent. Like it's like Godzilla's walking around and shit. That's fine, whatever. He doesn't see me. He's big. He's huge. He's not going to notice me. But when you have something that's small and that can come get you, but also it has eyes that can move, and you know that they're locked onto you, that's the real scary part of
Oh
a monster
yeah.
for me.
Like, I'll tell you what awakened this realization to me. I was big into watching like what was it called, like UFO Hunters or something like that, one of those shows where they go around and hunt for like UFO stories and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And there was one episode where they took a fake alien face and like put it up through the window so it was like looking in so it would get caught on camera. It was like some kind of prank they did, but they showed it in like the preview before a preview before commercials, like this up next kind of thing, and they just showed that, and seeing that big-eyed alien face with dead black eyes and pale white face just staring through the window was like, oh, holy hell. That freaked me the hell out. I was glad to see that was fake.
Oh, that was a thing back in the early 2000s. You had all these shows that were fake, but they made them to be as real as possible. Like what was the History Channel back when they were doing their thing with like the Chupacabra?
Uh-huh.
Like that was the one that got me, is because the Chupacabra episodes and stuff like they had these big red eyes that had actual irises and sclera and stuff in the darkness, and that's all you could see was the eyes just staring at you in the darkness. And I was like 10, 12 years old watching this at like 10 midnight.
Yeah.
That's great.
Eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And hey there, Cats324. We don't have any cookies for you, I'm afraid. But
there is
we
a fellow taco. I am a taco, so I do like cookies, but unfortunately I'm not sharing.
I have heard about the insatiable thirst of cookies from tacos. With taco dachis.
Taco dachis are incredibly fond of chocolate chip cookie. I don't even know where that came from, but it's just a meme.
I don't know, I think it's just the animation she made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of those weird things. Like, Ina has that little animation that's sitting next to it, and it's just one of the most comfy things in the world. It's probably one of the worst parasocial relationship things in the world. Because I'm hyper aware of it, but I know that it's a really cute thing, and it makes me enjoy the stream. You'll get nothing like it. Damn it! Now I can think about his eyes. It's not even dark out yet.
Yeah, I've gotten over it. For a second there, I was like looking out my windows, like, oh man, I'm thinking about it. Something must be there.
Mm-hmm. Like, I am an adult. I should not be scared of this stuff.
It's still light out too.
Yeah, I know. Like, the sun's still out. There's no.
Of course,
no
I don't know
shadows,
that when I'm literally staring at a corner here. You know what? I should probably turn my light on. So the camera can track my face a little better. Keep forgetting to do that. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. Now I'm starting to sweat. But maybe that's just because I'm thinking about eyes staring at me through the windows.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm turning the lights on so I can see better, not so I don't imagine just something in the darkness behind my shoulder.
Well, there's definitely no darkness. It's just the light that is on, which is quite bright, is behind me. So my entire face is in shadow. Sometimes that messes with the face tracker. Makes me blink and do weird things when I'm not actually doing it.
I'm surprised mine tracks mine as well as it does with my beard.
Oh yeah, we should put a PNG of you up here. This guy's very bland. He needs something.
Huh. Well, obviously the other one has like the fur coat.
Yeah, he's got like a vest. You know what? We could make it more like make this poofy thing.
And so you could kind of make it more like a coat. Some kind of divider thing in the middle, at least.
Yeah.
Make it look like a jacket. Give him a. And give him a trench coat style, the one you're not allowed to wear anymore in schools.
Make him fancy. He's becoming less of a Nosferatu looking deranged thing than I anticipated.
I don't know.
That's all right.
It fits from what I saw, because from the earlier evolution or the earlier form, it looks like he's a pretty emo. Looks like he's an edgy boy.
Yeah. I was gonna make him more monstrous. At least that's what was thinking. That was what. Bleh, what was going through my head.
Mm-hmm.
But we gave him a cute fruit bat face, and now I can't shake that.
Why are you crying? It's just the grave you dug.
You know, I'm gonna look up some references for like fancy suits or something.
You say, I'm looking through the chat of the Discord or whatever, and there's that. Is that the tablet that you're using right there? Oh, wait, no.
Probably. I think I put that in there for Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to use like the Clip Studio tablet program, or can you just use the regular one?
I'm just using the regular one.
Okay, cool. Because I remember like they have a special one for like pads and phones and stuff like that, but that's like a subscription service you have to pay to use.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been looking to upgrade. Because if I have an actual screen to draw on, it's a lot easier than the blind drawing that I've been doing.
Oh yeah, this thing's actually pretty nice. If you're in the market for it, I would recommend it.
Yeah, because it's not too expensive. I could probably pick it up in a month or.
And it's big.
Yeah, it's like 20. It says it's like 21 inches.
Yes,
It's huge.
big, and it has like a matte surface, so it actually feels like you're drawing on something instead of slick.
You say, do you have to get scratch pads for it or what?
I don't. I just draw on it straight away.
No. So is it use a nib system then? Like, do you have to change nibs or worry about it scratching, or like? Because I don't know. That's a big thing. Is for me is scratches.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen any scratches on it so far. My last one scratched up like hell, but this one
It
almost
doesn't have
like nothing.
Does it use Does it use nibs?
What do you mean nibs?
As in, like, my pen has a little thing that fits in the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like you would replace lead in a pencil. It's a piece of plastic that you put in it that allows it to draw on the pad, but it wears down over time, so you have to change them.
I mean, there's a nib in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of I'm not sure how you take it out.
I just use my teeth.
But
They have a special tool.
it is a. It doesn't need to be charged, which is new to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the tablet, the pen itself, mine has never had to be charged either.
Oh yeah. Mine needed charging all the time. On the last one.
That's. Yeah, maybe I should get one of those and try that out. And then I'd have like 3 screens.
Hey, me too.
So I'd have my 2 TVs, and then I guess I'd have that drawing tablet. Huh. Furry boy. Actually, that fits pretty well.
Make him less monstrous and a little more dapper. Complete opposite of the direction I intended to take, but whatever works. Actually, even though I'm kind of basing this on like the look of a suit, the fact that it's got like furry jagged edges kind of makes him look more bestial too. I think I'm liking this.
Mhm. Adding those extra flaps adds an extra, like a, it added something that it really kind of needed from that his basic form there.
Yeah, it was too plain.
Mhm. A lot of unused real estate.
We call that design space.
What you, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, called liminal. It's called liminal space.
I don't like his hair though. We gotta do something about that. Let's see, what's the other one look like? Okay.
I think if you round off the top, that would be all it needs, because the rest of it's fine.
My first instinct was to give him like a bigger ahegao, but that just that might be my anime girl drawing instinct.
Yeah, you're
Or
too
not
close to the
ahegao, a hoge.
No, no, not enough lying. Well, you're definitely right, but I don't want any more. I don't think he needs any more.
We going full furry this stream.
On today's stream, we go full ahegao. What?
I can't do it. I can't put my tongue out. I don't have that functionality. Oh, I do have the functionality to take my cape on and off. But we like having the cape on. Makes me look more wizardy. I like my new model. I'm gonna have to make more because I found out an easy way to do it. You can basically just import the same rigging onto a new model.
Yeah, if you take, well, do you mean like a new model, or if you make basically the same one?
Basically the same one, the same shape and everything generally.
Yeah, it's really neat, because that's something I thought about. As long as you take the same basic shape, you can just make small alterations and stuff, and you still have, like, you have all the really hard stuff, like the face is already taken care of.
Yeah.
And then you can add new clothes and stuff. Pretty neat.
Yeah. Life 2D is a nice program.
FT's nice program. It's a good. It's neat. I just have to. I haven't subbed yet for a while. Because unfortunately, I was like gung ho and went ahead. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make something that's like, what is it? Whatever it is, the biggest size you can have, which is one that requires a subscription. However, I already got my model and stuff working, so it's just working in the studio, or what is it?
VTube Studio?
VTube, yeah, VTube Studio. So it just requires some finagling there. But if I needed to go back and do some hard edits, then I would have to like sub it again. Just dumb. Just let me buy a program. I'll pay $200 if your program's good enough. Just let me own it. For the love of God.
Yeah.
That's why I love Clip Studio so much. Not just because I've been using it for years and I actually really like it. It's a powerful program, but it's also because I can own it.
You know what Uncle Klaus was? You will own nothing, and you will be happy.
You eat the bugs.
You will eat the bugs, and you will own nothing.
I will not eat the bugs. I will not sleep in the pod. What's the other phrase? I can't remember what it is. It's like, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Which, unfortunately, I think a lot of people will.
Yeah. City slickers. Yeah.
Because I know an uncomfortable amount of people who are really just okay with renting stuff.
Can't stand it.
Mm-hmm. It activates my Unga Bunga senses.
Yes. It's a good way to put it. It mine.
It mine. I beat. I own. You want beat harder. Unga Bunga senses. It's something I've started saying a lot more, and I like it because a lot of people have started using it. It's very because I use it a lot, mostly to describe my hate of crypto. It's like, well, why do you hate crypto? Well, it sets off my Unga Bunga senses. What do you mean your Unga Bunga senses? I mean, if I want to own something, I like having the physical thing in front of me, being able to hold it, move it, and all that jazz. And Unga Bunga senses say, this not real, this not good. This when computer die, you poor. Computer die, money go. What do now, Shromo?
I'm debating on whether to challenge you or just let it go. You know what? Okay, I'll go ahead and present an argument.
All right.
Physical money, fine, as long as things are local.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's some kind of apocalypse or something where, the dollar becomes useless or just something happens, how am I supposed to buy things off the internet? If the internet still exists, we need digital currency. If there's anything less than a total civilizational collapse, I'm going to need to send money over the internet.
I mean, my argument is not that I have a problem with fiat money in general. My problem is I like physical things better in general. Like, if you can't get stuff over the internet, that's fine, whatever. That's not my problem. I'll grow stuff in my backyard with the community I'm working with right now. I can live with that. Like I love anime and the pretty girls and stuff, but I can live without it.
Anybody could live without it.
Grug will adapt.
I'm just saying, a financial collapse is different than a civilizational collapse.
Well, the problem is you're gonna have a lot bigger problems than how am I gonna buy stuff over the internet. You're gonna have just the problem of feeding yourself is gonna be a matter and a half to deal with.
Not if they accept crypto.
Yes, absolutely. I will take my 30-pound diesel generator with me everywhere I go, running my computer at all times.
See, this is the thing. You're talking about a complete civilizational collapse where all the infrastructure is destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, hey, what if inflation gets out of control?
Then I'll trade in bullets. I've been stocking up.
But again,
I live in the Midwest. We traded in bullets before any paper money ever existed.
okay, how you gonna buy that nice tablet that you're looking at right now?
I'm not gonna buy the tablet if it comes to that. I'll live without. That's the answer. The answer is not how. The answer is I won't. And who knows, if it comes down to it, I'll just find a furry. I'll just sell out to some furry who wants some art, and they can buy it for me, and I'll trade in pictures. There's your answer. If we're not having a complete, fallout of everything and technology still works, I will use my skills and whore myself out.
Okay, how do you feel about crypto as just a medium of transfer?
Even as just a regular medium of transfer, I still don't like it. I don't like it at all. Here's the thing, I don't like fiat. I don't like anything that is not a physical trade, and I understand that I can't keep building chairs and trading for fish because Bob's fish are going to go bad. You can't really store those and save them for a rainy day and trade them for something you need. I understand that some kind of money, universal currency, needs to exist. However, I'd much as close to the product as you can, or as close to the actual value of the thing you're trading for as you can have. That's where I want to be. And when you have to start using other people's services and their transactions and their transaction rates, and gas fees, and everything, every link in the chain devalues what I'm trading. And so that's why I don't like it. It's an overly complex process for a simple thing. I don't know, man. Simple as I can put it is crypto activates my Unga Bunga flight or flight sim.
Okay.
It's something I can't really explain. I just know it. Who knows? I could be in the wrong. I could be poor in the future because I refuse to use crypto and adapt to it. But I'm happier doing that than using it. However, I do try not to be that guy who just walks into a random conversation and starts calling people retards for using it. I just personally don't like it.
Well, I sure hope you don't. You'd be talking to a retard right now.
You've seen my posts. You know I'm not overly political. I mean, obviously, when we get into tangents and rants and stuff, a little bit. In general, I try to keep it piped down because no one wants that all over their feed. That's one of the reasons I don't like the boost stuff. Is because every boost is some stupid conspiracy theory stuff.
That's why I got Minds Plus.
Yeah, same. It's like, so why do you have Minds Plus? Do you really like the service? No, not really. It's more to just silence the...
I like the service better with it.
Yeah. It allows me to get rid of... Oh wait, no, Canary is free.
Yeah.
But it allows me to get rid of the stuff without using ad block. And even then, you still get a lot of stuff that gets through.
I had a thought, but I think I lost it.
Try jogging the memory of the thought. We were talking about conspiraboomers paying for a service so you're not paying for a service to block ads. trying not to be overly political.
I think it had something to do with that.
Mhm.
I can't remember what it was.
Was it about me being hypocritical about not wanting to be too political?
No, that's a new thing you just made up.
Uh,
That's a tell.
that's a tell.
Sounds like you have a guilty conscience or something.
It means that I'm guilty of doing it, but I try not to because I know it's annoying and people find it annoying.
You're self-aware.
I'm aware of my faults. How about that? And I try to act better.
Be better.
Be better.
Just be better.
Come on, guys. Be better, guys. You can always be better. Well, it must not have been that important then.
Probably not. I already forgot we were talking about that.
Hmm.
I'm too invested in making these lines the proper curve. I tell you what, the worst part about doing art is drawing curves.
Mm-hmm.
And also doing straight lines. So basically all of it.
What's the hard part about art? Well, you see the lines and these colors and that shading right there. All of it. All of it sucks.
Yes. You see my hand? It don't do that.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
Huh?
What the hell was that?
The grunt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just me being frustrated with the line. The curve, specifically. I had to do that thing I complain about other artists doing, where you redraw the same line over and over until you get it right.
Control Z. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z.
Yes.
I'm also guilty of that, though a lot less now than I used to be.
I've become more guilty of it as I've done more cartoony kind of stuff. Because you gotta keep your lines fairly crisp. Can't just be sketchy all the time.
Yeah, that's why I draw in vectors, though. Because with vectors, if you draw a near perfect line and it doesn't end where you want it to, you can literally just click and drag it. You can stretch it. And because it's a vector, it doesn't pixelate. It actually keeps its nice form. Mock all you want, but this is this is one of the best inventions ever. Also, if you have overlapping lines, you can actually just, if you have like an overlapping line where something's crossing a different line, if you erase like the line on the left half of something, it'll only erases the part all the way up until it intersects with the other line. So that way you don't have to erase the whole line, and you just like click it and it's gone. The part that you don't want.
Now you see, that's activating my Oonga Boonga senses.
Really?
Yes.
Because your carving of lines doesn't activate an Oonga Boonga sense, but it does activate my tism.
My carving of lines is a tried and true method from art school. before I knew how to do digital art at all. Because this was before digital art was like taught, at least in my school.
Yeah, and I remember drawing with mechanical pencils back in the day, and drawing a line and then drawing thicker lines and then erasing part of that to get the right thickness and stuff.
Yes. Although I mostly developed the carved line thing from like charcoal drawing.
Hmm.
That's why I figured out how to work subtractively. Because it's a lot easier to fill a page if you just put a bunch of black stuff on it first and then like carve out the highlights.
Well, yeah, that's how I do figures. Is I blot out stuff and then I carve the form out of that, but then I do lines after I have the basic volume,
Yeah.
which is kind of what you're doing, but you're still carving even after drawing lines.
Yeah. Well, I'm not super coordinated.
Yeah, see, that's the opposite. We're kind of like a triad. I think of it the way Koeth, you and I are. I am lawful good. Like I am all the way top left lawful good. I have separate layers for everything. Everything is labeled. All my lines are crisp, clear, even, drawn on vector layers. You have everything that is just like, I think you're not lawful, but you're on the good side. So you're more like neutral in the middle between the three of us. And then Koheth is chaotic evil. Koheth is draws on one layer, maybe two, that draws on something that is like 40,000 pixels wide by 40,000 pixels wide. He carves everything. No, wait, he uses vector lines like I do, but he carves like you do. And then and nothing is labeled. Literally nothing is labeled. It's chaos. And then when he's done with a drawing, he flattens it, positions it so it fits with the other drawings, and then flattens that so it can never be edited again. Koheth is the most chaotic person I have ever seen as an artist, and it triggers me to a degree, and he knows it because I've told him many times.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Wolf Steel is twiggled.
I do. I need my safe space.
You know what? I said I was gonna change his hair, but I didn't do much to it.
Good. It's fine as it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it a little less more lumpy actually. Give him more Pokemon-ish proportions. That's one of the things I notice about Pokemon. Normally, I draw hair kind of like that. Pokemon draws hair like that. That's always an instinct I have to fight against doing this. Hmm.
He looks very buzzing.
Bussin'.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, we got two guys that are bussin'.
Like, look, he doesn't have it on the top of his head, but he's definitely got it on his neck.
Yeah. I knew exactly what you were talking about when you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I was literally drawing it at the time. Next guy is gonna have to be Cap. I don't know what that means, but that's
We're
what we're
gonna
going
find
for.
out.
Ah, moved. What?
Nothing. I'm drawing, and I accidentally moved my navigation window.
Uh,
I accessed the item bank, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I've never used that before. Ooh, this might be cool.
you discovering new features?
Yeah, I'm discovering new tools and stuff. I should probably do that repeating brush tutorial that Koeth keeps bothering me about too.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
I mean, it's actually a really cool feature. Like, you can make it doesn't have to be tentacles and stuff. You can make really cool vines, chains, drapery, clothes, water features, forests. You could make something that creates a majestic tree line, and you can just draw it in seconds. Like, it takes a lot of work beforehand, but it's really cool.
Hmm.
Because that's the Clip Studio Paint's probably biggest strength is its pen mode. Because its pen is every single pen and tool is built off the same structure, which is a setting of a certain picture that it copies, and then all it does is it chooses what kind of colors are done, how much does it blend, what is the transparency layer that it's using, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because every single brush uses the same different. Well, they don't use the same settings, but they all use the same tools at different settings. So your pen is basically the same as your pencil, is the same as your brush, is the same as your eraser. They just have different things turned on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting a little tismy here, but that's just it's something that I find very interesting about the program itself.
I've made brushes in Photoshop that basically work the same way.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember the difference because I know that there is a difference, and it has more to do with the way the engine in Clip Studio Paint runs and how it copies an image as the base for them. However, the main I think the main focus is Photoshop is more of a blending and editing tool than it is anything else. So it has it has more work put into how it mixes different layers and stuff versus how the pen works.
Well, they had like different types of brush program, I guess, is how you'd say it.
It also has a much better way of working with contrast, because that's one of the biggest strengths it has, is making things work together with each other. Because when you take stuff and you copy stuff, it doesn't blend so well. But it learns how to. It takes the actual noise value of the picture and balances it out a lot. Listen to all this jargon.
Now we give him the fang. And maybe he's a Takodachi too. He has a fang.
Yeah. Canonically, Takodachis can look like anything. You just have to believe you're a Takodachi. They don't have to look like elephant octopus.
Elephant octopus?
Well, yeah, that's what they're based off of. There's these Dumbo octopus is what they're called.
Oh.
Yeah, not the elephant, but like that Dumbo octopus.
I thought you were saying like a combination between elephant and octopus.
No, they look like the actual. They're based off of the actual elephant octopus, is what they are.
Yeah, the thing with the little flaps, right?
Yep. But canonically, they can look like anything.
Oops. Alright. I think I might draw the white on top of it rather than carving it out.
Yeah, rather than have to deal with the holes, just overlay it instead.
At least to get the initial shape down.
It'd be a lot easier to edit too in the future rather than carving it out. So let's say you were off by a little bit, you don't have to, move the entire line layer.
Yeah. Oh, had to switch back to black. Alright. He's finally ready for coloring. You know what though? Maybe he needs like tuxedo tails in the back to match the front. And also because I intended to give him a tail, but I didn't go about doing that. There we go. Okay. Enough fixating over tiny little details. Now we need color reference. You know what? Maybe I'll reverse some of his colors here. Whoops. Maybe I'll make his limbs, main body lighter. Then make the hair parts darker. See how that looks.
If you want to become more emo, it'd definitely be better to have the chest dark.
Yeah, might even go darker than that.
Actually, this is a random thought, but as it evolves or as it changes, you could have the purple fluff turn to like a dark red.
This is true.
Because if this is a second stage, it could get even darker.
We could definitely stand to make him a little less pink. Oh wait, he's got a completely different nose than the other guy. That can't stand. All right. There we go. Yeah. There's still something about just the geometry on this guy's face.
You see, I'm not sure what it is, because nothing's setting off my Unga Bunga senses.
He just looks a little lopsided. I think I just need to kind of shorten his snout, and it'll be good.
I think you're too close to the case, Private.
This is my case. Oh, jeez. Get out of here. Guess that looks better.
Yeah, a little bit. But like I said, there wasn't anything that made me think it was off earlier anyway. and I'm not you,
That's
so
too bold.
anything that is really off would stick out to me probably more than you.
Maybe.
No, I know that's exactly how it works. You're an artist. You know that, like, something I would fret over or something that I'm staring at on my piece is something that you're probably going to say, "Are you an absolute retard? Why are you caring about this? It's fine."
I know. I think we have the same point.
Hmm. Maybe.
I'm fixing it because I didn't like it.
I guess there is a difference. There's a difference of it's something that doesn't fit to your taste, but as the observer, it's something I don't think is a problem.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how I have a problem when I'm drawing hands, and I need to make sure they look just right. But most people, when they're watching me, say like, "What the hell are you doing? It's fine."
Yeah, that'll happen.
Mm.
Just I didn't like the way it looked.
Because I don't know. I do that a lot where I'll look at someone else's art and I'll try to picture myself having drawn it. So like I'll try to see what they did that I probably wouldn't like if I were to do it. But notice that I don't really care if it's them doing it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's things I think about.
It's kind of like you don't always have a good idea of if something is intentional or not from their perspective.
Well, yeah. But the reason I do it is not the reason I do it is because I'm trying to figure out, okay, if there are things on this image that I don't really care about and I don't really see anyone else pointing out, and if I were to consider it below my grade, is it really something I should be worried about too much? As in, like, you're looking for those small imperfections and things that no one else but you is going to notice.
Everybody has different things that they fixate on. Okay, why has my music stopped YouTube?
Why, indeed.
Doing that stupid "Are you still watching this video" thing.
Are you still watching? Yes. Gives you the option to autoplay. Then pauses and asks if you're still there.
Yeah. Scumbag YouTube. Put a hat on it. Just like
The
the memes
ancient
of the
memes.
old days.
Rage comics never died. They just evolved.
Now we call them Wojacks.
Mhm. And then Wojaks became Soyjaks. You're almost done with this one, but it's been 3 hours, so I'm gonna head out.
Alrighty.
It was a lot of fun. Try to drop by whenever I can.
Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Mhm. Awesome.
See ya. Oh, now I have to talk to myself. Hey, chat. I see there's some of you. What do you want to talk about? Nothing? Nothing at all. Okay. We'll just sit in silence here. Hmm. Alright, I think it's about time I moved on to the actual shading. Much better. Alright, let's get ourselves a big enough brush here. We're gonna put this entire wing in shadow. Pretty much. And a little bit of this one. Not a lot. Alright, we're gonna have to get in a little bit of the details. There we go. Let's go real simple with the face shading. Some of that, and some of that. Ugh. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's see. For the editing layer only, that's what we want. And we can go in and just, hey, what the hell? Easy. Just select the region we don't want the shadows in, and then we erase it all. The entire thing. Probably be a good idea to make this a little more steep. Alright, I think that'll work for the shades. Now we'll move on to the highlights. Yep. It has been 3 hours. This might be the last guy of the night. Not necessarily because I can't keep going, but because I don't really have any ideas for the owl anyways. I'm just gonna give him something like so. That's very bright. That's the stupid gnat from earlier still flying around. You know what? Why do we have Wolf here? He ain't here. Alright. Might have more reflected light on this guy than anything else. do the same thing on this side? Yes. Since they're membranous, they would be showing through, I guess, the light. We'll give him some highlights on his little puff. Wait, do you like it better on top of that or in front of that? Or below it? I think I actually like it better underneath the shadows on this guy. You know what, I shouldn't be cleaning those lines up too much because I'm going to do the whole softening thing. Right, meow. That's too big of a brush. That's about right. Alright. I think that's the last one of the highlights, right? This needs to be cleaned up a tad. As clean as this style is. Alright. Oh no, wait. This right here. Should be the last of it. And the ear fluff. Right? That's it. That's all. I can move on to the shadows now. Let's do it. Is that all I got? Is that all? I guess I just have to detail the eyes. Let's see. How do the eyes look? Okay, they got a ring on the inside that glows, and the rest is kind of just plain. not a perfect outline, it's just kind of a suggestion of a pupil in there. Actually, that one could be smaller. Now for the glue. I'm gonna go quite white with it. I'm gonna use that old subtractive method. Actually, you know, get some pure white right in the middle. And we're gonna do this just like we did the other shades. A little, not that big. I'm noticing some touch-ups I want to make here. Of course, once I'm done with this and I end the stream, I'm probably going to keep working on it, even after I've declared it done, because I always find something else about it that I want to fix. Always. Like, without fail. We'll see what I find this time. Yeah, he's looking alright. Now that I sit back and actually look at the entire picture. Not a bad design as it turned out. Yeah. There's his little buddy there. Maybe if you get the first one. Where you at, Flitox? There we go. Yeah, look at that. The whole family. Nice little group, aren't they? Oh, we need to name this guy. I think the name that came to mind as I was thinking about it earlier, something like, no, not create, new, save as. I'm gonna call this guy for now Nosferatox, because he's poison. He's poison, you see. He's a poison bat. Oh, wait. There we go. I almost spelled it wrong. As much as you can misspell a completely made-up word. Alright. No. Oh. Already. I thought of something I forgot to do. Delete that. Okay. The lines are just completely black. Can't have that. Gotta put a layer over that. Alright, there we go. A little softer now. We'll go ahead and just make that change directly to... Oh wait, I'm on the wrong layer. same change to his eyes there. So it's all the same color. There. Now, I think it's okay enough for me to call it quits. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, all the things you gotta do. And, check it out next time. Come by next time. We'll draw some more creatures if I'm not playing a game. No idea what I'd play, though. It's always hard finding a game to play. There's so many. And in reality, I don't want to play any of them a lot of the time. Sad state of the gaming industry right now, honestly. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna see myself out. Bye!